Italy, Yannick Borel for France. And it is Matthias Henkelmann, our referee for the first 2 of 9 legs.
You'd have to favour the French for the gold medal here, but you can never write off an Italian fencing team.
Of any kind.
Now it looks to me like Andreas Santarelli is luring Yannick Borel into distance at the moment, and he's trying to pick him up with this circular cease bind. It's been successful twice. In fact, that time he ended up in a cutover as Borel was trying to escape.
Double.
Santarelli still luring Yannick Borel on, but that time Borel played a dummy, threw a little fake attack out. That stopped Santarelli in his tracks, and then he launched the real attack. Promising start to this gold medal match. You see Santarelli still trying to lure Borel into attacking.
Santarelli with final word in the first. 5-4 we go to the second. And it will be Garazzo for Italy, Grimier for France.
Well, it's early in the match, but you have to say this could be quite a telling bout. As they were lining up to come out, and there was a hint of nervous tension in the eyes of Enrico Garazzo.
I would imagine. I've been seeing reports about an injury in the comments from some of the French fencing fans throughout the day. Do you know anything about that? I haven't heard anything.
What, to their épée team, you mean?
To Grimier, sorry.
I haven't heard anything. Yeah. Did have a word with the doctor earlier on. He did say that he had treated, I think, an ankle, perhaps, for one of the French teams. So perhaps it was Grimier.
Well, Grimier was down in the Switzerland match, getting some magic spray, but it didn't look like anything that prevented him from being himself. And it was his back ankle.
In the little switch over from the preliminaries hall to here. I mean, we're all effectively in one big hall, but this is a feature podium piece at one end of it. When we moved over from the previous stream, I had time to just nip down to the cafeteria, and non-combativity called for the second period, and telling, well, clearly both these fencers knew that this was a big one, and chose not to take any risks, so we go straight to the third. I had a little chance to go to the cafe and grab a cold bottle of water, and I bumped into Hughes Aubrey, the French épée coach, and he looked at me and he went, "Hello, how are you?" And I said, "I'm very well, Hughes, how are you?" He said, "I'm very good." And he looked really excited, really pumped up, and he said, "Are you enjoying the fencing?" That was a nice way of putting, "Are you going to enjoy watching my team win tonight?"
Well, here is Paolo Pizzo, who apparently will have something to say about that, and he will face Jean-Michel Lucenay in the third after a call of non-combativity in the second.
Very unorthodox on guard position from Pizzo, crouched over.
What is the thinking behind that?
It's just his style. It's just his style of fencing. The épée is the purest form of sword fighting. First one to hit. And Hughes Aubrey calling the referee over. The referee's pointed something out. Oh, Hughes Aubrey's pointed something out in the Italian box, and it's that there's one extra coach in there. They should only have two. Okay, the head coach, the lead coach, and the assistant, and there was a third one sitting in the box, so the referee's just adjusted that. Yeah, it's the purest form of fencing, épée. First one to hit. So you tend to put as much effort into avoiding getting hit as you do into getting a hit on your opponent. And I told you how pumped up this Italian was as he launches into a flash attack. So because it's all about trying to score without being hit yourself, you do see some contrasting styles. We've got Jean-Michel Lucenay on the right in a sort of more classic, certainly French style position, more upright, hand stays very still, whereas Pizzo is a bit more of an energy player, a bit like the Swiss fencers sometimes. They tend to fence in a non-classical.
First double.
Coming from a foil background, as Lucenay steadies the ship for the French. Coming from a foil background, I went into my very first commentary for the FIE with some trepidation about my lack of knowledge and, to be honest with you, my lack of appreciation of both épée and sabre. And Paolo Pizzo was a great introduction to the nuances and the specialities of men's épée. He went on and won the World Championships in Catania, which was my first stint in the commentary box for the International Federation, and what an introduction that was.
Indeed.
In his hometown as well. He won the World Championships in his hometown of Catania.
We're in the third, so our target score here is 15.
Yeah, again, youth fencing. The team matches have 3 fencers in each team, plus a reserve. The reserve can be brought in to replace one fencer, but can then be taken back out again, and the original fencer replaced for their third match. But it's an accumulator. The first 2 fencers come onto the piste and they fence up to a target score of 5. The next 2 come on and they adopt that score and go up to 10, and so on and so forth. So basically the target score is 5 times whatever leg you're in.
But frequently we see with foil and épée that time does in fact play a factor in these matches, don't they?
Well, yeah, and with épée you tend to get calls of non-combativity, and the fencers are allowed to use non-combativity as a tactic. They don't want to ship too many hits, they'll spoil the fight. But what then happens is the referee will call halt after a minute of fencing without any hits, and this rolls straight into the next period. This contrast in styles, it could be boiled down to one very simple comparison. Lucenay is playing a percentage game, minimise the risk, and the Italian Pizzo is playing more of a gambling game. He is presenting opportunities for the Frenchman to hit, but he's moving at such speed that those opportunities are very small, very short. But you got to say that that was a good leg for the French.
Absolutely. 11 there for Lucenay, 8 for Paolo Pizzo, and the lead has swung the other way. France now up by 2, 15-13 going into the fourth. Andrea Santarelli and Gautier Grimier.
Now already signs of non-combativity here. It's Santarelli that's got to go after this. Grimier will sit there and hold that lead and keep Santarelli at bay. Like he's sort of using a boxing analogy, using sort of jabs to keep Santarelli out of distance. There you go, there's another one. A little salty. That's not a real attempt to hit, that's just a stay away from me, stay away from me.
Coming up on a minute gone.
There we go. Non-combativity will be called.
That will do it. Second non-combativity call in this gold medal match. No change to the score. 13 for Italy, 15 for France. We roll into the fifth. Paolo Pizzo is back on, and he will face Yannick Borel, the Man Mountain.
Well, 2 bouts of non-combativity from Gautier Grumier, and maybe that is an indication that he's
Trying to avoid.
aggravating his an ankle injury, perhaps. Or
He is not.
could be tactical.
Interestingly, he is not closing. He is in the 7th leg, and it is Lusnay and Burrell who follow him. Burrell closing.
Well, Burrell knows he's up against a bit of a firecracker here, so he's taking the fight to Pizzo. When you look across the 6 weapons and you look ahead 40 days or so to the Olympic Games, there are perhaps 2 standout favourites for individual gold. One of them is Gautier Grumier. The other one, just incidentally, I would say is Sofia Vilakaya, who is really the complete package when it comes to women's sabre. But she has some challenges from a couple of the French fencers, of course Olga Karlan and Mario Zagunis. But Gautier Grumier on his day is unstoppable. He is absolutely head and shoulders above the rest. Funny thing is though, it's not very often his day. For some reason there's something that happens, and either he's enjoying it and he gets on with it and he's unbeatable, or he's not having a good day and he kind of shrugs his shoulders and goes, I'm not fencing well today, so I'm just not going to put the effort in. That sounds really bad.
What was it last season, this season, where on the circuit the French either had gold or silver in like 7 events and with 6 different fencers?
Of the 8 World Cups and Grand Prix, they had 7 different winners. They also had minor medals. They had silvers and bronze in all of the tournaments. And then, to just rub salt into the wound of the other nations, it was the inaugural European Games in Baku, and an 8th different French men's epéist won that. And for those of you who know your French men's épéists, that would be Ivan Trevejo at the tender age of 42.
42.
He was either 41 or 42 when he took the gold medal in Baku.
Well, world champion last year, Geza Emre, was 41 when he did that.
Pretty impressive run of form, and a real headache for the selectors for the Olympics, of course, because with 8 different winners in the previous season, how do you select 3 for the individual and 1 extra for the team? I think the short answer to that was that Gautier Grumier was always going to be the first name on the French fencing team's list. Second highest number of qualifiers for the Olympic Games, France, after a disappointing London 2012. Russia have got the full package, 2 women's foilists, 2 men's sabreurs to go in the individual, and then teams in all of the other events. And you've got to say, not just because of the volume of fencers, but because of their talent, Russia are the favourites to be top of the fencing medal table in Rio.
Korea and Italy both had a pretty good showing in London.
Korea were top of the table, I think.
I think they might have been second, or they were tied with Italy, but did they not factor in this year? Are their results this year not that promising?
Korea or Italy?
Korea.
Well, the Koreans haven't had the best 4-year cycle, for sure. Like lots of individual medals, but as teams, they're not. They haven't done quite so well.
Well, 10 there for Burrell in the fifth. And 8. No? Is that 8? No, 9 for Pizzo. So a net gain of 1 there for France in that leg. Go to the sixth. It is Garazzo and Lucenay. Double to open the sixth. With the crowd at the top of the French men's épée lineup, wasn't it? Was it Ulrich Robert who retired earlier this season?
Yeah, he did. Not selected in the French team. Can't remember off the top of my head who the French team is, but he wasn't one of them. I would imagine it's probably the 4 that are here. Doing a bit of a dress rehearsal. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? Dress rehearsal at the European Championships. But it is, of course, a dress rehearsal for the Olympic Games.
Double.
Well, they decided to leave that one where it was.
Oh, we move on. 25-29, we move to the 7th, and as you say, Karen, this is where the rubber hits the road.
Yeah, and the French have made a substitution. They've taken Grimier off. They put on Daniel Girant.
Interesting.
Well, I think that's that probably does confirm that Grimier is not 100% because they didn't want to put him up against the energy of Paolo Pizzo. But Pizzo himself is on a -4 indicator, so despite his passion and desire, has shipped 4 more hits than he's landed.
Well, Lusine at this point is on a +4, so
Just slowly but surely edging away from the Italians, this French team. And you'd fancy in the last leg, if Burrell's got a 4 or 5 hit lead, then he's going to hold on to it and he's going to keep Enrico Garozzo at bay.
well, the French have picked up over the last 3 active legs, where non-combativity has not been called. They picked up a point differential in each leg. So they're just sort of slowly easing out. First it was 2, and then it was 3, and now it's 4. Now it's 5. Well, now it's 6.
It's a master tactician, Hughes Aubrey. Got his pen and pad out as always in the French box, marking down every single hit.
Did I not see that he is leaving the French program at the end of the Olympic cycle?
That it appears to be what is the case, yeah. He may well be parting company with the French Federation, and his services will be well sought after.
Well, Girant doing the business here in reserve for Gautier Grimier. Paolo Pizzo run out of steam here, no?
Paolo Pizzo never runs out of steam. Well, they do decide to leave it there.
34-28, 34 for France. So 3 there for Pizzo, 5 for Girant in reserve for Grimier, and the 7th. And now a 6-point gap Santarelli on in the 8th and penultimate leg to face Jean-Michel Lucenay. Santarelli is going to have to get some points back here, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to go hell for leather. I think he will use the time to try and close the gap. He doesn't... Well, clearly he's not worried about the target score of 40 here. Or he certainly isn't as we go into this 8th leg. But he will want to close that gap up, I would say, at least by 3 hits. So take it down from a 6-hit lead to a 3-hit lead. That would be a satisfactory job done if he does do that. And if you like, I think Pizzo left the score as it was, so the French have to score an extra hit to try and get to 40. It's 6 to get to the target score, and that buys a bit of time for Santarelli. But even in the penultimate leg, a double at this stage is a good outcome for the French. Santarelli's game of trying to lure Lucenay in is not going to work, because Lucenay will stay patient and wait for the opportunity, just like then. Santarelli just gets a little bit too close.
Lucenay and France will gladly accept those doubles. Slowly eliminating the advantage that was left for Italy.
I've often wondered why equipment manufacturers brand socks right by the ankle, and there's a very good reason. Just there in that replay as we watched a close-up of Jean-Michel Lucenay straightening his weapon.
Yeah, which happens frequently.
Good advert for the one of the world's top equipment manufacturers, Leon Paul. Sponsors of the French fencing team, in fact.
Other equipment suppliers are available.
Not for the French team.
Well, Santarelli has not only not cut the lead has grown by 1. that is going to leave Italy in an interesting sort of place. They've got 6 points to make up, and then 5 after that, unless time runs out. What is Garazzo going to have to do here?
Well, he's got to take the fight to Yannick Burrell, and I think this is too big an ask even for Enrico Garazzo. Burrell he's great at containing. He's got a great reach, and actually, you know what? He might not even let Garazzo come after him. He might say, "Well, we've got a good lead here. I'll see if I can increase it." Big ask here for Garazzo to try and close this gap.
I think I might have to, at this point, put Jean-Michel Lucenay forward as man of the match. I mean, he's on a +4 indicator, and put 21 points on the board, and kept things steady in the middle of the order.
Yeah, but the other members of the team did their job. Grumier contained in his first 2 fights. The substitute, Gérant, came on and outscored his opponent by 2. Hughes Aubrey, a little congratulatory fist pump, and then straight back to his notebook. Referee coming over to have a word with Hughes Aubrey. Perhaps getting a little carried away with his instructions. Oh, nice. Garazzo did enough to lure Burrell into attacking there, and then just got a hold of his blade, bound it round, and hit. Still 4 down though. Half of the final period's over already. Couple more hits from the Italian, and Burrell might start to get a little bit nervous. He might be thinking, well, what's Garazzo doing? Why doesn't he get on with it? Well, he's got bags and bags of time. He doesn't need to take risks until the last 30-odd seconds. His game plan here is to stay in this till the end so that you can launch some, if you like, crazy attacks.
We're back to a 5-point lead, and back to a 4-point lead. Double. Just what Enrico Garazzo did not need.
Oh. How the flick over the back didn't land, I don't know, but you take them all via Yannick Burrell, and now they're just 1 hit away from a gold medal at the Toron 2016 European Fencing Championships in men's team épée. Nice hit to the floor, or to the foot there, low line hit for Garazzo. Professional job done by the French team here. They knew they were up against it with the Italians, who were well up for the fight. But they've just been solid, and they have just taken the European title.
45-40. It is France who will stand atop the podium tonight. Italy will take the silver. And Ukraine with the bronze. Our scheduled start time for the women's foil team event